இவள் பாக்கம் பறவையோ குழம்பி வாசம் இவள் கூந்தலோ உடுலை சீவள் இவள் பேசம் சொற்களோ குளிர்பானமோ உற்சாகமோ. Got my first playback in Tamil, which was so weird for me. That's actually always been for like a lyrical reason. Like probably it's. And then he was like, make fun of the language. Because usually when people make fun of it, like when you're making fun of somebody who speaks a certain way, I was like, wow, I want that. I want to be so clueless that I don't know what a meme means.
Hello, everybody. Happy to see you all again. This is Sneha, and today I'm super excited to be talking to the person behind all the enchanting dance numbers and also soulful numbers that you hear in the Bollywood industry and a lot of other music as well. None other than Nikhita Gandhi. Hi, Nikita. How are you doing today?
Good.
So tell me, let's dive straight into the first question, which is tell us about your latest song that's doing the rounds, and how do you feel about it, and how has it been received by the audience?
Kyun Karu Fikar, yeah. Has
Yeah,
been this non-film release and
exactly.
very cool. I mean, a little, I think, a little different from my other non-film releases because uh, Disha and I were a little more closely involved with the song, like the song making process. And this is the first time I think I worked with an actor on a non-film project.
Hmm.
Sort of execute like a joint vision, and it
That's quite ironic, right? Working with an actor for a non-film project.
was quite actually the the scoop is that initially I was a little not comfortable doing it because of that. I was like,
Oh,
with
okay.
work anyway, like why would I sing in like a playback format for a non-film project? And but Disha like really wanted me to sing the song, and there was really like it kind of melted my heart, like because she was like specifically she wanted me to sing it. It's not like
Mhm.
any voice that fits the bit kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think your voice is really unique, I must say. So I really like some of your songs so much. All right, so let's go back to your, the very first, like when you first started music. How did you realize that music was what you wanted to do? And take us through your initial years of learning music.
Well, I learned Hindustani classical growing up. Born and raised in Calcutta, so my childhood's been dance and music and sports and just everything. And yeah, like that I was like that all-round kid,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And of course, I loved. My first love was actually dance. And then a couple of years later, I started learning Hindustani as well. So, but I
Okay.
love I think I just loved performance arts, like I just loved singing. And even when I was dancing, I used to, sort of sing the melodies of whatever choreographies we were learning. And so, I mean, music's always been a big part of my life, but I've been like an academic kid, so I never really thought I would pursue music as a serious career choice. So it was just kind of there always, like school band, college band. That's how I got out of any kind of ragging situations. I would just sing my way out of everything. So
Advantage. Yeah.
because of that. So all these kind of funny things happened. And I just so it was just there, but it was just always an escape from whatever. I was studying dentistry in Chennai and stuff. And it was actually there where music took like a career sort of turn because I started doing these part-time classes and stuff in Rahman Sir's school. Yeah, Rahman Sir's
Oh,
school.
okay. Nice.
That's where,
Okay.
again, I literally joined his music school. I couldn't join the full-time course because I was studying dentistry. So I did
Mhm.
these evening classes and I just wanted to keep music as a part of my life. Like it was not like because it's A.R. Rahman's school or I wanted to sing. Or there was like no, there was that intention was not there at all in my mind. But it just kind of happened that like I had auditioned for something for the choir, and then he heard that, and then he liked it, and then he called me for one of his like passion projects, and then I started singing like these little bits and pieces and film scores, and slowly, like, I got my first playback in Tamil, which was so weird for me. And it was like honestly like one experience after another that led to doing this as a serious career, and I because I couldn't believe that I was doing music seriously, and so it was,
Yeah.
but it's amazing at this.
So is there like like I'm sure you have a lot. Do you have like a memorable experience from your early music training that, significantly impacted your approach to singing, like when you were training classically or anyhow? Yeah.
I think, I mean, my mom has this one story that it's not like I experienced it, but she keeps telling people that I was like, oh, maybe I was a good singer. It was like, people, I was always very, like, I was that person who just liked to do everything. So it's not like, I was like, I was not competitive at all, whether it was academics or music. So that drive was never competition. It was just always like, this looks like,
Passion.
yeah, like this is fun in that
Yeah.
sense. So I was never like a good student in music. Like I used to not practice, and it was, yeah, I was like happy. But my teacher like really wanted me to practice, and she was like, "You have such a different kind of voice, and you should." I mean, she felt like she would keep pushing me to do more and more. And so my mom has told me the story that when I was like 5 or something, and
Mhm.
she wanted me to join my teacher's classes, like learn Hindustani from her. And
Okay.
and we all lived in the same neighborhood, so the same.
Okay.
And then, so Durga Puja is such a big festival in Calcutta. So,
Yes.
she told her that, and auntie, I used to call her auntie, like I never called her ma'am or any like serious guru name. So then, so she just told her that your daughter is too young to do music, like let her grow up a little bit because you need a little bit of
Mhm.
sensibility. And then I think I
Absolutely.
some song in the pandal during Durga Puja, and then she came back to my mom and said, no, actually, she seems like sensibility with music, like she was singing in pitch, and she understands that it's what she's doing basically. So
Mhm.
that's a story I heard later on in life from my mom. So like, okay, nice.
So how do you learn songs of different languages? You're a very versatile singer, so I just want to know how you pick up.
I honestly don't really have like an answer to that question. It's just very the one way I could describe it is it's a little bit like acting, like you have to, especially when you're singing in languages you don't speak. Then
Exactly. Yeah.
first song was in Tamil, and the reason why I'm saying this is because Rahman said something very interesting to me, which was almost funny. When I was radio, because he was, like, oh, I try to like get into the character, and I was like, I don't speak Tamil, like, I was
Yeah.
feeling pressured to perform that song. And then he was like, make fun of the language. Because, usually when people make fun of it, like when you're making fun of somebody who speaks a certain way, you tend to copy it, so you
Yeah.
do
You imitate. Yeah.
it. So then you end up actually doing a good job explaining that character. So he was like, make fun of it in your mind and then like pretend like you can sing it. That was very interesting piece of advice. And I
Can you
think
sing a
it's
line of the song, please? I'll put you on the spot. I'm from Chennai, so I will tell you.
no,
Thanks,
one of
correct.
my like Tamilian friends were like, "What are you saying?" Because all the words are very like should Tamil. Like okay, so it's like oh god, it's like இவள் பார்க்கம் பறவையோ குழம்பி வாசம் இவள் கூந்தலோ உடலை சீவள் இவள் பேசும் சொற்களோ குளிர்பானமோ உற்சாகமோ. That's like the first line of
Oh
the song.
wow,
So I
so
was
cool! I didn't know you sang the song. Wow, that's sad. That's sad.
that was my first ever. Mm.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, awesome! That's so cool. Your first entry was from like Chennai. I feel really amazing about it. So, could you tell us what are the rituals or routines that you follow before stepping on stage, or even, when you're heading to the recording studio? Like, is there like a set ritual or a routine that you follow?
I like to get a workout in, like for some, like,
No.
I mean, that's in general, like any day. I like to find some physical activity to do because I've always been a sports person growing up. And especially on like a show day, I try to squeeze in like at least half an hour of, you know, like since when we're traveling, it's mostly gyms we have access to. So like just
Yeah,
run treadmill or something, though I am not a gym person at all. Like I despise
you're an outdoor person.
I'm like, I despise exercising for exercise. Like, you should trick yourself.
Oh, wow.
Like, I play a lot of badminton. I used to play a lot of football and stuff. But like, that's like you're playing, and then you stay fit through playing. You don't have to worry about like this. I'm working this muscle right now, and then I'm gonna be so frustrated.
That's a very good approach. I think everybody should think of it from that angle. So, yeah, is there anything else that you do? Like for your voice mainly? I
Also,
don't think so.
like especially on a gig day, like you have sound check, and then usually you don't have too much time because you land the same day, and then you head to sound
Yeah,
check. Like you start getting ready. And getting ready is like this whole process, especially for a female artist.
absolutely.
It just take 10 minutes. And you have to like, I had to like learn how to put eyelashes, and I don't do that in gigs ever. But like just the whole getting ready process is always a process. So I try to
Yeah.
what I usually do is like I mean it's ended up becoming a ritual where I put on the tanpura on my phone and do like riyaz while getting ready. So,
Good. That's efficient.
yeah, efficiency is the key.
Absolutely. Awesome. So, Nikita, how do you like channel your emotions and connect with the essence of the song? I know you spoke a little bit about it, but talking about all the songs that you've done so far, how do you like connect? Like, what if you don't connect with the song or you don't, think it's your song? How do you go about it? Like, but you still want to,
Why not?
give it a shot.
No, but very, very, very rarely happen. There have been times where I've very politely said no to a song, and that has usually that's actually always been for like a lyrical reason. Like probably it's not nice. Maybe or especially if it's like sort of like it's like
Understood.
derogatory to women, and for like then I'll
Ah,
be like, I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable, objectifying myself so much.
I know.
So that has happened in a few occasions. So thankfully, though, like most of the time, the kind of people that I've gotten to work with also have been so amazing that I've never had to question the process, because
Yeah,
such stellar artists, musicians, composers that that you're
absolutely.
someone with great tastes. So that's always been. I've had like some funny incidences where um like I remember once Amit Trivedi, he called me and he said, "So I have this song, and it's a very
Mhm.
angry song, and like a very powerful, angry song, and I've never seen you angry. You've like you're always laughing, so I don't know whether you can do it. Like you're the right voice for it, but I don't know whether you can be angry. So
To bring
can
out the emotion. Yeah.
you ask me like, should I like? Is there someone you don't like who you can call to the studio?" And I was like, "Okay, I can be angry. It's great, great side of me."
So all the anger that you had bottled up, it was probably a good time to unleash it.
Yeah, that's. I feel actually sometimes singing becomes therapy, because you
Absolutely.
get to. I mean, it is of course not like you can't just choose your outlets, but like when you do get an outlet, it's so much fun. Like I remember having the time of my life recording "Ghar" from Jab Harry Met Sejal. Um,
Hmm.
it's one of the fewer songs that I sang on no structure. Like it was just a like a loop, and then I just kept singing the
Wow.
song because it wasn't ready, like there was no arrangement yet. And it was just because the song was so beautiful, like one of my favorite compositions of Pritam. And I just, it's like I couldn't stop singing it because I got addicted to the song while performing it. And
Yeah,
so those are like really cherishable moments for sure.
awesome. So, what is your take on the current indie scene, and how do you see it evolving, and how do you see yourself evolving as, as an independent artist?
The indie scene's a lot like, I think it's kind of that surge that was there probably in
Yeah,
the 90s, early 2000s is something that we're seeing again, which is
absolutely.
which is great.
Especially after COVID, during the pandemic, we saw a lot of new artists emerging.
And I think, and I also started my process a little reversed, like I was doing
Yeah.
playback, and I was like, hey, people are listening to you and sing in films, and what about all those songs you've made and you don't play to anybody? And for yourself, I'm definitely like a shy songwriter. Like I
Oh,
feel
is
like
it? Oh, wow.
I really have to put myself out there to release music. But then I tried to get used to it and try to get comfortable with it. And then I started releasing a lot of music since 2017 only, actually, since my first.
Hmm.
And then my first single was Hum Shakal, and then I released more and more and more. And then I did Maharani last year. I did another song just before Kyun Karu Fikar. And I mean, Kyun Karu Fikar is also a single, but like I'm talking about songs that I've written and composed.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm working on another one for the second half of the year at some point. So it is, I feel it's very important, especially if it is a part of you to write music. I think,
yeah,
it's important to keep exploring that, even if you don't end up releasing that music, but to keep writing and to keep
absolutely.
churning
It'll
out.
make you better at it also as you keep writing and writing and writing.
Evolve as an artist also, then, because unless you don't write, you don't know what is inside, and then you don't know.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things to work on, a couple of them, I mean, of course, they are my least probably consumed songs publicly, but there was this one EP that I did at the beginning of this year. Was it
Okay.
beginning? End of last year, which
Okay.
was called Sazish, and those were like
Hmm.
3-song EP. And like there was a song called Khush Naseeb that I wrote, and that was the first time I wrote in Hindi. Like I
Oh,
usually
wow.
write in English, and then I like, if I wanted to be a Hindi song, like I work with a lyricist to put down those thoughts in Hindi.
Okay.
'Cause I
That
feel
is
very
so nice.
writing in Hindi.
Yeah.
I think in English. So honest, and I actually like wrote that whole song in Hindi, and it was a very like a very cathartic song. Like they were literally like sitting in, this is my home studio, and like really I sat in this room, and every time I tried to record my final lyrics, I would start crying. And it was because the song was very personal for me, but like it was just like this cathartic thing. And it's, I almost knew, like every time I would like switch on the mic and everything and set it up, that I knew I was going to start crying. So it was really, sounds really sad, but it's not sad. It's just beautiful
Emotions.
some way,
Yeah,
So yeah, it's so important to go through these things basically as an artist.
absolutely. And yeah, I think you learn, right, with every new song or every new uh, anything that you do within the music space. So,
Yeah.
among all the songs that you've lent your voice to, is there one or a couple of songs that hold a special place in your heart? And if yes, could you share why?
And clearly I mentioned my crying songs. Krishna is, I mean, even like it is, please do, like whoever's watching this or whatever, it's one of
Yeah,
my most um vulnerable songwriting uh, songs, Khush Naseeb. And I'm actually looking forward to writing more songs like that. So that
yeah,
was
you
really
should.
fun, like process for me. Of course,
Hmm.
I'm attached to all my music, film, non-film, the stuff I write, the stuff I sing. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like I mean, I've sung so many songs where I'm like, man, I wish I made this melody, because it's so I've sung it
Yeah.
anyway. There's so many projects. I did
Okay.
this project with MTV once where they. I mean, actually, it was I had written this song for not for that for a web series. I did some of the music for Mismatched, and
Oh, okay.
and I wrote this. So my character was we were given characters, like each independent artist was given a character.
Mm-hmm.
My
Okay.
character was to come out of the closet, so it was a very
Mm-hmm.
interesting, uh,
Wow.
like yeah, like little complicated characters. And I wrote this song called Khud. And though we didn't use it for the show because they wanted something a little more edgy and it was more emotional, what I'd made. So I released it as a single, and then I actually ended up using it like for an LGBTQI campaign with
Oh,
MTV. So
nice.
that's and so I mean these are like I mean small wins in the big, big scheme of things, but for me these were I think very pivotal moments as an artist, like that my personal journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it held close to your heart, and I think that's what matters end of the day. Nikta, could you tell us about your experience being a part of the reality show and what were your biggest learnings?
IPML. Okay, I was like, I have never
IPML, sorry.
as a participant or something. So this is the first time I was on.
Oh, no, no, no. I meant on. Sorry, I should have been more clear. Yeah, yeah,
No, but it was a reality show. I mean, it was a TV show on TV, and it was
yeah.
a. When I joined it, honestly, I was very excited because it was the reverse of what you see. Because what you see is a bunch of judges and completely new people performing, and here there were everyone was a known singer. It was like
Yeah,
kind of against each other. It was a little. One thing I didn't realize though, it is hard to quantify a performance because at the end of the day, even though it was an audience vote show, but
yeah,
yeah, it was a very interesting experience for me because I'd never been on television, and I realized it's a whole other
different ball
world,
game. Yeah.
different world. First of all, like I'm being super candid, but anyway, first of all, so good. There's like this face you have to like you have to have like this TV face, which is like extra
Yeah,
animated and not always true to what you're thinking, and that was for me like the weird process because I was like, oh wait, oh everyone's like, but let's just say that every time my parents watched the show, my mom would call me and she would be like, Nikki, why
so
are you?
proud.
No, she would be
Oh,
like, show. I was like, why? What? Like, I mean, I would be like, I know, whatever, something I would complain about, and she'd be like, yeah, because every time the camera is on your team, everyone's like, and Nikita is like, look, someone else lost, no idea, didn't understand what happened. That was me, and she
oh,
every time that's the I was like, and I'm like,
oops.
I could, I was too real for the show, basically,
Oh,
and
man.
like it's so funny because it's always the case that the camera's on your team, and it's like, well, at least your daughter's real, like, no, but your skill, like, and I mean, Akriti and I, for example, we became such good friends through that show. Shan
Yeah,
also, and so like they've been on TV a lot, so I've had so many
yeah.
discussions about this. And how do you guys like? Yeah, it's like literally something you have to learn because it's
It's an
different.
art.
Like yeah, the camera, it's a different kind of performance almost, like when you're on stage,
Yeah,
you kind of change. Your character changes on stage than off stage. It's kind of like that.
absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, when it's playback or music, it's always behind the camera, right? It's not in front, and that I guess. Yeah,
No, I
but
mean,
now I think you're become a natural at it.
that's TV as a whole other.
I didn't. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I can totally imagine. So how do you maintain your vocal health? How do you maintain the texture of your amazing voice? Do you do anything special that you'd like to tell us?
uh, people, since I was a kid, everyone thought I spoke because because of
Because
the
of that
husky voice, and I
husky
had to
voice. Yeah.
lie. So that's like that out there that I do not smoke, and people, like everyone be like, something you do. I was always been cracked since like I was a kid. So that's just how it is. So I mean, that's something that I definitely will continue to do, not smoke. Uh, so that's one way of maintaining my texture. But apart from that, I don't have any like diet restrictions or anything. I don't do any of that. No thanda, this, no that. I'm genuinely drawn to bland food. I'm like a child. Like I love dal chawal,
Wow.
dahi and everything. So inadvertently everything I eat is bland. I can't like so I'm like
Wow.
built to not eat things that like mess with your throat, I guess. But also, I do have this kit that I carry with me because of course it's so easy. I think also for a voice like mine, it's easy to lose your voice because it's already like on the husky side.
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
have
I agree.
had seasons where I lost my voice, and
Imagine you kind of if you would start croaking if it
I
like reaches a point.
oh, I have been through that, so I know what to never go through again. Like twice in my life, I've been on vocal rest for a whole month. Like where
Whoa.
because I could feel that you can understand when your throat is developing nodules because you
Yeah.
start every time you swallow it pains and you feel a change in your voice, gets
Yeah.
hoarse,
Yeah.
even more hoarse. So I literally there was this 1 month that I didn't speak the whole month because I was so upset that
Wow.
I was developing nodules and then it went away. So I mean these are things that I've now grown to avoid talking too much. But
It's quite funny. Like most of the playback singers, like female playback singers that I've spoken to, everybody says they don't stay away from cold stuff. I think it's quite.
probably
I mean, like any layman would think that okay, that's probably the first remedy. Like don't drink cold stuff. But I've heard a couple of them say they have ice cream or something cold before they get on stage. I'm like, wow, that.
I test the universe like, oh, let me have ice cream. Nothing will happen.
All right. So you're quite active on social media and you're quite, engaging on social media. So how important or what role does the digital world play in your journey as a musician? How do you interact with your audiences?
I mean, I've learned to love social media slowly because initially I was very like not active on it. But then, of course, like I grew to understand how I mean, it is a form of connecting with your audience. It is a form of, I think it is about how, what you do with it, like, because it's like a tool. And initially I would be like, oh, like all these people posting all the time. But then I realized, if you're an artist, you have to connect with your audience and you can choose not to as well. There's so many really famous people who are not on social media. I really want to get there. no but, no but I think it's
No, no,
to
no. I mean, the world or the digital era that we live in, it's impossible. You can't shy away from it. You'll be lost if you do.
honestly, I've seen a few interviews of people who are off social media and it's like I was like, wow, I want that. I want to be so clueless that I don't know what a meme means. I love I was impressed. I think that's the goal. You need to become like somebody people talk about and then you just don't talk at all. You can just leave your like, and stay in a hut in the hills.
Wow.
I'm a like
Wow.
an oxymoron of extremely social and extremely hermity.
Uh-huh.
Strange oxymoron of that. So I really love people. I think I mean, I've grown up. I'm an only child. I've grown up with my imagination. Only child to working parents. So I think when you're with that kind of characteristic, you tend to love being around people. But at the same time,
Absolutely.
need your solace. Like you don't know how to live with people. You know how to live with yourself.
I think that yeah actually makes a lot of sense. So, as a playback singer, how do you strike a balance between lending your voice to diverse projects, but at the same time retaining your artistic identity? It's a very difficult thing to do, right?
I used to be this person who would be a little judgy of certain things. Like like I would be that like English music and I would not listen to film music. So you
Wow.
tend a lot of indie artists are still like that. So and I was like that, and feel like why when I started singing in films, I was like, what am I doing? And then I realized that was so stupid of me to be so compartmentalized in because there's so much beauty in things that you've just sort of assumed is not beautiful. So ever since that happened, and I really thank my Bollywood journey and my playback journey for that, because I've seen so much beauty that I never saw before, and changed the way I started looking at music and art, and not
Yeah.
confining it to what I thought was artistic. So I think that applies to what you're saying, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this is like, look at me, I'm just singing anything and I'm doing anything, and where is the quality? And then but then you also have to be a little, like, give yourself to the process, right? You have to let it take you where it takes you, and then find,
Yeah.
because you also don't want to be the same person you were 10 years back. You want to.
Absolutely. You have to evolve. And I mean that's why people think you're versatile. It doesn't mean that you're just doing anything and everything. Lord, it means that you're versatile. You're capable of doing so many things. I mean, and singing so many. And now if you see, it's a lot of people from mainstream cinema are now making original independent music. So even that is happening. So it's like uh yeah, times are changing, and I think it's for the better. Okay, so what can we expect from you in this year, and of course in the months to come? Independent and film, whatever you can share.
I'm always I'm as clueless as the audience usually most of the time. But non-film, this after the song, I have an English record coming out um, in September, which I've collaborated with a friend of mine, which is called Time. That's gonna be an interesting, very out of my comfort zone kind of song. It's like kind of
Is it a
alt rock.
single?
Yeah, it's a single.
Okay,
And
awesome.
I mean, again, something that I love trying things that I wouldn't normally try. There's also a ghazal project that I'm a part of. Again, something I've never done before. Never sung ghazals before. I've learned Hindustani, but never
Wow.
ghazals. So there are. This is a project with Z, which I think it was supposed to release this month. It's not released yet, but I'm very happy with how it's turning out. And there are it's an album, and I'm singing among some very veteran singers. I'm very nervous to be
Wow.
part of that album, but yeah, like, watch out for I don't know what it's going to be called. I just know it's a ghazal album.
Wow,
Um,
wow. Can't wait.
so that's something I mean, that's something I've already done. I've recorded everything. Just
Okay.
wait for everyone to hear it. But I'm currently working on a puja song. So a Durga Puja song. I've never actually, being a Calcutta girl, being a bong, I've never released something of my own for Durga Puja. So was excited to make this that year. So
I'm sure your mom will be very happy.
so why did you make that song? Why is your excitement?
I think she's your best critic.
Yeah,
And
she is. It's actually, I'm actually doing this song because of my dad, because he was suddenly like, do a 6/8 song. I'm like, why? He said, because you've never done that before and you don't do it for some reason. So do it. And I was like, okay. Like, like he's giving me homework or something. Like, okay, fine. I will.
that is so cool. So what would you say to young like musicians who are just about thinking if we should become an artist or anything? What would you say to them?
But I mean, I feel like everyone's doing so many things. We're not even living in a world where you have to do one thing. Most people are doing have two, three jobs, two, three careers
Yeah,
simultaneously. And so I feel like it's such a great time to just do whatever floats your boat, and I think I don't think I think that nobody needs advice in this context because everyone really knows what they want, this new generation especially. And I just feel like the only thing that one should keep in mind is just to not care about what everyone's doing and just do your own thing.
awesome. I think that's a very good piece of advice. So, Nikita, now I'm going to like make you sing a little bit. I have a few different segments. First is the very cliched rapid fire, but hopefully not very cliched questions. So let's go. Okay, a song that you constantly sing in the shower.
Oh, do I sing in the shower? Um, I don't know
That's
actually.
an
I don't have one song that I sing in the shower. It just changes every day. Sorry, I botched that one.
Hmm. If your voice had a color, what would it be?
Velvet. Velvet is not a color. Velvet purple. Velvet purple.
You're giving me like a fabric and not not a color.
Because I feel like because I've heard that before, velvet voiced. So I was like, the word velvet came in my
Hmm.
head.
Velvety, smooth. Yeah. All right. One musical trend you'd love to bring back.
Musical trend. Like what? um, I don't know.
Anything that you think has existed back in the day and is not existing right now.
I think that whole there's like less weirdness. I would like more weirdness
Hmm.
in music videos. Like you see a lot of like especially the bands in the 90s and the 2000s. There were these
Yeah.
they had the strangest
Quirky.
videos, and I feel we can
Yeah,
kind of
true.
get some of that back because nowadays
Yeah, I
everyone's.
think that's a good one.
So I was like, where's the weirdness?
Nowadays, everything is so prim and proper. There's this necessity to kind of, be better than the other. And yeah, it's too much going on. Yeah. A food that you think influences your singing positively. Dal
Food.
chawal?
Yeah, dal
Yeah.
chawal.
And curd, dahi. Awesome.
Dal
If
chawal,
you're, hmm.
aloo with that mashed aloo. I'm such a bong when it comes to food. Like, and I'm very easy to please. Yeah, dal chawal is so like.
Yeah, basic, like yeah, I mean, I was expecting you to say something really like, I don't know, junky, but
No, I'm
no.
not a food person at all. In fact, it's the easiest thing is to just feed me. Like it doesn't matter what it is. You feed me, I'll be
Low
happy.
maintenance.
Yeah.
That is so cool. All right, if your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Love is a highway. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my head.
Then
Um,
that is what it is.
there was this one Rihanna song I used to listen to while
Hmm.
driving college when I was in internship every day. Now suddenly it's gone out of my head, but it was like
Okay.
it is a Rihanna song. Okay, I'm gonna like text you later on because it just like disappeared from my head. There's
Okay, no problem.
come my lady, come my lady, you my
Oh,
love
wow.
sugar. I don't know why there's
Oh,
something
yeah.
very funny.
What's it? Oh my God, what is the name of that?
It's oh, you the one that I think about all day. I love it. I don't know why it's like made me instantly happy every time I would hear this song.
Yeah, I know, it's so windy. And yeah, the Butterfly's Crazy Town.
Crazy Town.
Yeah.
These songs were like stuck in some playlist of mine and they used to play every day for me when I was in
Yeah.
college. Like, you
Butterfly, I
know.
think, played on everybody's. Yeah. A Bollywood classic you'd love to reinterpret with your unique style.
Oh my God. Um, I think a song that I've been obsessed with for a while when it came out, especially was Fir Le Aaya Dil. So I would love to sing that song.
Oh, super, super. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing is genre switch. Okay, I'm going to give you different moods, and it has to be your own songs. That'll be more fun. I'll give you different moods. You'll have to switch and sing a line from different songs for each of the moods that I'm going to suggest. All right. First, let's start with happy.
जाना ना हो जहाँ वही जाता है, दिलों का पट्टा है, उलूले उलूले, बूढ़ी तकदीर क्यों आजमाता है, दिल सौ सौ का छुट्टा है, उलूले उलूले, पापा टंडे, उलूले उलूले. There's a lot of music. Ulule.
Awesome. A song for your social media followers.
For my social media followers,
Let's call it love.
Love.
Love for your social media followers.
Love for my social media followers. रही ना पहले से शायद, समझ में कुछ ना आया, बोलो ना क्या किया जाए, आंखों से नींद है गायब, खुश मैं इतना क्यों हूँ, तुझको तवज्जो में क्यों तू, जाने क्या हुआ मुझे, तेरे प्यार में चमकूं.
Romantic.
काफिराना सा है, इश्क है यार, क्या है.
Nostalgia.
I don't know why I thought of this song, but तेरे प्यार में, it has a nostalgic vibe. दिल चाहता है बस भीगे भीगे भी.
Excitement. I hope you sing what I'm thinking.
Burj Khalifa. मुंडिया दिला दे मैनू बुर्ज खलीफा, मैनू बुर्ज खलीफा.
Of course, how can you not sing that? All right. Okay, can you sing a couple of lines from your latest song, Kya Karu?
जो भी होना है हो जाने दो, देखा जाएगा, क्यों करूं फिकर. That's how it goes.
That is so amazing. All right, so now I'm going to give you names of artists. I want you to give one word to describe them. Shan.
Smiley.
Pritam.
He's gonna kill me. I was huggable. I said this in an interview once, and he was like, "Why do you keep telling people that I'm a good hugger?" Because you are.
Oh God. Akriti.
Sweet. She is so sweet. She's the sweetest.
Amit Trivedi.
Free. There's something very free about. Free.
Oh, free. All right.
Spirited.
Arman Malik.
Sort of the opposite. He's like more proper. No, he's also. I'm just thinking the word sweet for everyone. I think Arman is a different kind of sweet, I would say, from Akriti. I don't know how to go that.
That is not an answer.
I think proper, but that's because he's always like put together.
Thank you. It was so much fun talking to you, and hopefully get to see you in person in Mumbai someday or in Chennai. And yeah, I can't wait for your music and keep doing what you're doing. And I can't wait for the ghazal and the other, the English single that you're releasing. So yes, we'll watch out. Thank you for your time.